UIM F1H2O World Powerboat Championship came to its dramatic conclusion in Sharjah in the United Arab Emirates after a double-header, season-ending finale where the 2022 World Champion was crowned. Here we'll bring you the final race, the Road to Sharjah Grand Prix of the Middle East. Sharjah is the third largest sheikhdom of the United Arab Emirates, next door to its more illustrious neighbor, Dubai. Yet Sharjah has a character all its own, one that is firmly rooted in its culture, history, and Arab-Islamic roots, with architecture spanning many geographies, periods, and styles. It's also a jumping-off point for exploring the wondrous natural beauty that surrounds this region, from long sandy beaches just minutes away from the city center to the Sharjah Desert, which is home to a variety of flora and fauna, offering a chance to see some of the region's unique wildlife. The showdown would kick off on Khalid Lagoon, where world champions have been forged for nearly 2 decades. Sharjah hosting the season finale of the UIM F1H2O World Championship since 2004. The traditional flag handover took place between the Emirate of Sharjah and the next host country, the Republic of Indonesia. His Excellency Khalid Al-Midfa officially handed the F1H2O flag to His Excellency Zainuddin Amali, Minister of Youth and Sports Affairs for the Republic of Indonesia, for the opening round of the 2023 UIM F1H2O World Championship. Now let's see what happened in the previous round here in Sharjah. Round 5 of the UIM F1H2O World Powerboat Championship took place just 2 days prior on the Khalid Lagoon. In the all-important qualifying race, Team Sweden's Jonas Andersson took the coveted pole position, his first pole win of the season. Team Abu Dhabi's Sean Torrente had second on the starting grid, followed by China CTIC Team's Philip Schiap in third. At the start, Jonas Andersson stormed off the pontoon, surged ahead, and left the field behind. Schiap in third mistakenly aimed for the green demarcation buoy in the drag race to the first stern buoy and compressed the field to his starboard side, forcing boats into a fight for space. Alec Bäckström had a superb start, which allowed him to escape the mayhem and was first to the green buoy. Andersson was firmly in the lead, with Sean Torrente in second. Sami Celio, who got covered up in the start mayhem, recovered, eventually passing Alec Bäckström to move into fourth. Thani Al-Khamzi was hit hardest by the start incident, losing 7 positions, falling back to 14th, but the veteran driver was back up to 9th by lap 4. Stromoy Racing's Bartek Marszalek had what may be the biggest comeback of the year after he started back in 13th due to an engine change before the race. He methodically moved up the field. Meanwhile, up front, it was disaster for title hopeful Torrente, who began to fall back as he was passed by Schiap. Next, Alec Bäckström caught up to Torrente, and behind them was Bartek Marszalek. The Polish ace attacked and passed both of them in one fell swoop, moving into 4th position. Sean Torrente's slide back continued down to 7th as he was passed by Bäckström and Comparato. But the day belonged to Jonas Andersson, who never looked back from the start and stormed to the top with a 20-point haul. Philip Schiap was penalized 1 lap post-race, giving second place to Sami Celio, to the delight of the locals. And Bartek Marszalek nabbed his first podium of the season in third. In the overall results, Torrente was able to retain his lead, but slimmed down to just 3 points ahead of Jonas Andersson, who's now in second, ahead of Al-Khamzi in third. Now Andersson's sensational win sets up a 3-way battle for the championship deciding race. Teams and drivers had a tough road ahead of them, with a free practice session, qualifying race, and champion deciding Grand Prix all packed into one day. The Road to Sharjah Grand Prix of the Middle East featured a stacked lineup of 18 drivers from 9 teams. The championship has come down to just 3 drivers: Team Abu Dhabi's Sean Torrente with teammate Emirati Thani Al-Khamzi and Team Sweden's Jonas Andersson. In the lead was Team Abu Dhabi's 2-time champion Sean Torrente. His points cushion slowly shrank through the season, now down to just 3 points ahead of his main rival from last year, defending champion Jonas Andersson. Torrente has a singular goal to win his third World Championship title. Can he succeed?
Yeah, it's going to be a fun day. And I text one of my guys this morning. It's one of those days you just, you live for you. No matter what happens, you live for these days. You know, it could be bad, could be good, but no matter what, we get a result today. And the nice thing is I get to just push today. We don't have to worry about points or this or that. It's pretty much me versus Jonas and Tani, and just see where we're at the end of the day, see if we're good enough or not.
The thorn in Torrente's side, defending champion Jonas Andersson, has slowly chipped away at Torrente's supremacy with strong finishes and now has a good shot at the championship here.
I feel very happy that we win the last race, and I feel we have a good setup for this course, so hopefully we can take the pole position. I mean, we need to win this race to be the champion, so it's all in.
Team Abu Dhabi's Daniel Kamzi is the most successful driver in the history of the Grand Prix of Sharjah, but he's been plagued by engine issues this event, yet still has a shot at the crown that has eluded him. Local eyes will be on Team Sharjah's Ferdinand Zandbergen and Sami Celio. Celio has claimed 4 pole positions in the past in Sharjah and won 2 races and is fresh off the podium from the previous race.
Yeah, of course. Previous race was great. The final in the podium and everything almost worked. We still had some technical issues there, so for those circumstances we need to be very pleased with the second position, and now is the other week and let's say the race day for us, and let's see how it goes.
3-time world champion Philipp Schiapp of China's CTIC team would be racing his final Grand Prix here, marking another milestone in F1H2O history.
It's very important for me and my team because it's my last race. I won't take pleasure on the maximum. But we need also to make a good result because it's very important for the team, for the future, and for my sponsor. And it's not a pressure, it's a good moment.
The Sharjah circuit is famously challenging. Sticky water conditions, sharp angles, tight turns, waves reverberating off the lagoon walls, and the glare of the late afternoon sun streaming through the buildings and combining with the spray. The official qualifying would be crucial as drivers fight it out over 3 sessions to determine the all-important starting lineup. The 18 drivers in Q1 reduced to 12, then Q2 where the fastest 6 would lock horns in Q3 to determine pole position.
There's same engine as last race and same problem, so not running the RPM it should, so we try to fight, see what we get. Maybe some points in the end of the day, I hope.
I rebuilt the engine yesterday. We spent 12 hours in the pits, so I will use the same engine which I ran on the first race. Everything works well on the free practice, so let's hope. Like they say here, inshallah.
It was crucial for Jonas Andersson to get ahead of Torrente by at least 2 positions if he wanted to bolster his championship chances. It could all come down to the results here in the qualifier.
Probably the most important qualifying in my life.
In Q1, Philipp Schiapp was on his A game and shot to the top early in the session. Rookies Paolo Longhi and Ben Jelf were off the pace and out in Q1. Ben Jelf's teammate, veteran Duarte Benavente, was also unable to make the cut. Maverick team Cedric Deguin was struggling in 14th, as well as his teammate Alexander Bourgeot in 16th. 4th in the overall standings was Gilman Racing's Alec Beckstrom, but his struggles with missing RPMs continued. He just made the cut in 11th, while his teammate Philip Roms was experiencing similar problems and was out in 13th. Roms was bumped out by Maritz Stromoy, who was the last to make the cut in 12th. Q2 kicked off, Jonas Andersson and Sean Torrente dominating the top 2 spots through the session. Andersson's teammate, Kalle Vipo, was struggling and unable to repeat his Q3 qualifying performance of 2 days earlier, finishing in 10th. Maritz Stromoy's woes continued, and she was unable to improve her times.
No, we're down with a lot of speed. There's something wrong. We can't find it out, and I have nothing to. Can't do nothing.
China CTIC team's Peter Marin, who crashed out in the previous round, broke his engine and was out in 9th. Alberto Comparato had only one engine this event and wasn't able to find the speed to get into the top, finishing in 8th. Daniel Kamzi had good pace, but his attempt to turn around his title campaign suffered a major setback, and he was unable to qualify for Q3, missing it by just 0.09 of a second, bumped out by Sami Celio.
Nothing, too much traffic. We can do a good lap.
Also qualifying in the top 6 was Zandbergen in 3rd, Schiap 4th, and Bartek Marszalek in 5th. The final Q3 session, Philipp Schiap of China CTIC team again dominated the session, determined to go out on a high. Finnish driver Sami Celio was able to get 4th, but it was disaster for Ferdinand Zandbergen, who spun out spectacularly on turn 5. His team now had their work cut out for them, getting the youngster's boat ready in time for the race in under 3 hours. Qualifying just ahead of Zandbergen was Bartek Marszalek in P5. Tensions were high as the two title contenders were battling to the very end. Torrente had the lead in the early session, but with just minutes to go, Jonas Andersson laid down a blazing lap and finishing in P2 just ahead of Torrente in 3rd. But nobody could beat the Frenchman, and the pole position went to China CTIC team's Philipp Schiap. What a way to enter his final Grand Prix. Jonas Andersson had the edge over Sean Torrente, finishing in P2, but would it be enough?
I needed the pole position here. Schiap is very fast. So.
Very nice day for me, for my team. I don't know if the setup with me, but for sure I won the pole for finish on the top.
There was more bad news for Team Sharjah as Celio's boat had been damaged.
Probably hit something on the water, and there is the mark for that, so some dirty bottle, I don't know, piece of wood, something on the water and hit that, and now with this boat you cannot go to race. So that's it.
Schiap would play a critical role in the race as Andersson would need a first-place finish ahead of Torrente to lock in his second title. If Andersson was to finish in P2 ahead of Torrente, the Team Abu Dhabi driver would take the championship. It would all come down to the race. In between the racing action, drivers, teams, and members of the F1H2O World Championship community took a trip to the Sharjah Desert to continue the sustainable agenda and to plant trees in the plantation at Al Mantath as a way of offsetting some of the carbon footprint that the sport creates. The championship decider race now imminent as the stands filled with fans and local dignitaries. The pressure was on for teams to finalize their setups and get their best boat on the water. Jonas Andersson, who had slowly chipped away at Torrente's dominance all season, now was just one race away from a potential second world title. Could he keep his lead and finish the race far enough ahead of Torrente? Schiap in his final race would hold the championship in the balance. If Andersson finished behind Schiap in P2 with Torrente in P3, he'd lose the title. But if Andersson could finish first and get 20 points, the championship would be his.
Philippe is going to play a major role in this because, you know, he's right there with us. It's been me and Jonas basically most of the year, and now Philippe has entered this weekend and just, he's there. So it's a shame he's retiring, by the way. He's such a great driver. And what has it been? 14 years. We've raced deck to deck a lot of times and never once treated me wrong. And I've never treated him wrong, so I'm going to miss him for sure.
Peter Marin and his China CTIC crew worked their magic and got that boat ready in time. Ferdinand Zandbergen was also ready, the sole hope for Team Sharjah.
Yes, the pressure is high. The home race started 5th. Hope, inshallah, we will win.
Starting lineup, Schiap on pole, then Andersson, Torrente, and Marszalek in 4th. Al-Kamzi has to fight back from 6th after Celio's exit. And one of the hardest battlers in the field, Peter Marin, back in 15th. crowds hold their breath. Seconds to go now as crews steady the boats. And they're off. The boats thunder off the pontoon. Schiap and Anderson are neck and neck down that straightaway, but Torrente is falling back. He's late getting off the dock, falling back behind Marszalek and Al-Khamzi, the Emirati keeping pace with Marszalek. Behind them, Alec Beckstrom has a good start, leaves behind Vipo and is fighting Comparato up to the green buoy. Out front, Anderson has phenomenal speed and is pulling ahead of Schiap. The defending champion is first to the commitment buoy. Anderson takes the lead and speeds away. Schiap in P2. Behind him, Marszalek is in a battle for third with Torrente. The Polish ace has the outside lane and nails that turn, locking in third. Torrente is down to P4. Not a good start for the American. Al-Khamzi is fighting the rookie Zandbergen for fifth. Al-Khamzi is on the outside. He tries to pass the Dutchman on turn buoy 3, but Zandbergen has the speed and keeps his fifth position. Now on the back straightaway, in the battle for fifth, Al-Khamzi blasts through Zandbergen's spray and makes a lunge toward the tricky right-hander. He overshoots and loses speed. Zandbergen retakes fifth position from the Emirati. It was a disastrous start for Torrente, having lost one position and is now in fourth on a circuit where passing is notoriously hard. Meanwhile, his rival Anderson has taken the lead with a championship in his sight. But there's 37 laps to go and anything can happen. Schiap is in second and has nothing to lose. He keeps up the pressure on Anderson. Schiap's teammate Peter Marin has managed to claw back up to 10th position after starting in 15th. Impressive racing. Entering lap 5, it's bad luck for Gilman Racing's Philip Roms, who is out with an engine issue. The race is yellow flagged as the crews move to clear the Finnish driver off the racing line. This could be the break Torrente needs to make a move as the field compresses for the running restart. Green flag, Anderson has a solid start. He maintains his lead as the field moves around the first turn buoy, and Torrente takes huge air. He crashes down and lands right side up. Then Al-Khamzi crashes and runs over him, also getting tossed in the air. Catastrophe for Team Abu Dhabi. The race is stopped, yellow flag. Torrente is okay. He opens his hatch, a miracle after that direct hit from his teammate. Let's see that again. Torrente is neck and neck with Marszalek around that buoy. Marszalek goes wide, hitting Torrente, who goes flying. Behind them, Al-Khamzi enters a wall of spray, driving blind, strikes Torrente's boat and goes flying. He lands right side up and is able to motor off. Here it is from Al-Khamzi's onboard. The spray combined with the direct sunlight on that side of the course, and wham! Torrente is lucky to get out unscathed, but his title hopes are in shambles.
I don't know, Bartek, I got him on the restart pretty much, and we got to the corner, and I think I left him a lane. I got to look at the video. I think I left him enough space, but he piled in there and just nailed me, and then from there I was just along for the ride.
The green flag, he give wrong side, not correct. Should be give with this way, not this way with the sand, because the sand no one can see, no one. This is wrong.
What a disappointment for Team Abu Dhabi as both drivers are out. Now as the boats line up for a second restart, it is all but Jonas Anderson's championship to lose. Any finish above 7th will earn the defending champion his second title. Green flag, the race is back on. Anderson has the lead. Behind him, Beckstrom makes a move on Comparato in the battle for 5th. Comparato hugs the inside lane and keeps his lead. Out front, Schiap trails Anderson in P2, Marszalek 3rd, and Zandbergen is now up in 4th. Kalle Vipo is on the attack, plowing through Beckstrom's spray, trying to regain his lost position. With less than 25 laps to go, positions remain unchanged from the order of the second restart. Marszalek is on track for a podium finish, and Alec Beckstrom to winning Rookie of the Year. Going into lap 16, it's another crash. More bad luck for Team Sharjah as Zandbergen digs in and barrel rolls down at turn 3. The Dutchman is okay, but his race is done. The field is reduced now to just 11 boats, and they line up for yet another restart. Green flag, the boats roar down to turn buoy 1. Anderson keeps his lead. Boats jostle for position, trying to take advantage of the close-knit field. F1 Atlantic's Duarte Benavente attacks Peter Marin in the battle for 7th. The Portuguese driver pushes on the outside and does it. He takes 7th. Great racing. Meanwhile, his teammate Ben Jelf is in 9th on his way to finishing his first race. Positions remain unchanged, now with just 10 laps to go, and the unthinkable is happening. Jonas Andersson begins to slow down. His partner and radio person, Janice's face, says it all. Andersson comes to a stop. It is heartbreaking to watch as he comes so close. A breakdown with just laps to go rips away his championship hopes. Torrente, who is back in the paddock, is now the provisional champion. Fittingly, Philipp Schiap, in his last race of his career, moves into first. Marszalek is in second, and Comparato moves into third on his way to his first podium. Meanwhile, Andersson is consoled back in the pits. And the laps wind down, ending one of the most dramatic races in F1H2O history. Philipp Schiap is the winner, topping a successful career in style at the top. Marszalek in P2, his best podium finish to date, and third for Comparato. What a finish to his season. And it's jubilation for Sean Torrente and Team Abu Dhabi as he wins his third World Championship title. Bäckström grabs 9 points in 4th, Kalle Vipo in 5th, Ben Jelf nabbs 4 points in his first race ahead of Alexander Bourgeot in 8th.
I saw that 2 candidates for World Championship didn't finish, so I didn't see Sean. We touched each other, but it was really not my fault. I was in the spray and something happened, but he's coming. Sorry, Sean.
I leave you a lot of space.
I didn't see you completely. I was in so spray.
It's okay. I know you didn't do it on purpose, but turn the
ball. No, I didn't see you.
In the end, it worked out. But no, in the end, it's okay. If you would have told me I got 5 points for 2 races and won the World Championship, I'd tell you it's impossible. But we're here. We got enough points for the year. I honestly couldn't believe it when they told me. My phone was going crazy with I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, and then returned to oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
So you got it.
I did
get it. You see, so look, I didn't control.
I just stay out of trouble because I knew Sean had to push because he was behind. I don't know what happened, I see a crash, so I get some position. And then, yeah, also Ferdinand, and then Jonas. So I was lucky, but it was from Holbia and Sanazar that I was unlucky, so I get it back.
It's wonderful, it's a dream. I won't stop on the top, and I make the pole this morning and I win the race. It's perfect. Perfect day for stop my career.
In the Teams World Championship, Team Abu Dhabi is head and shoulders above the rest with 128 points. Team Sweden is second with 85, and China CTIC team in third with 54 points. In the final Drivers' Championship standings, Torrente's bad luck turns around, and he is third-time world champion. Andersson so close, yet so far in second, and Thani Al-Kamzi finishes in third.
Tough day, we have bad accident. I don't finish the race, but still I'm in third in world champion. We hope next year we do better than this.
Took the start and control the race. It was very, very easy, and tried to take it very easy and not push the engine too hard, but it was not enough. We broke the engine, so it's shit that happens, so I'm very disappointed. but we try again.
That is not the way we planned this, okay? But I am 1 meter from being in a hospital because that crash was wicked. And 30 minutes later, I'm world champion. So it's been a bit of a roller coaster day. I said this morning, these are the days I live for. I'm really blessed and thankful for my team and for everybody that supports us. 3 world championships in 4 years. It's pretty good, and I'll take it.
Sharjah topped off the weekend and said farewell to the year with a lavish gala dinner where drivers, teams, and their families got to experience the splendors of an Arabian feast under a spectacular show of fireworks. See you next year as the new season kicks off for the first time ever in Indonesia.